Thanks for joining us tonight. Before we start the show, I want to say that you do not want to miss one of our main features tonight here on To The Point about serial squatters. Our ABC 10 investigative team has been following families who thought they were doing the right thing, but they ended up renting to the wrong people, which left them paying a big price, not just financially, but also emotionally. So that's coming up a little bit later. Of course, we're going to get you caught up on the headlines of the day, and starting out in Stockton with our main point. City Council is deciding whether or not to display the pride flag for Pride Month. That's where we find Becca Habegger live tonight. She's been following this larger conversation happening in the Stockton area and frankly, nationwide. Becca?
Yeah, Alex, you know, the vote by city council members tonight here in Stockton is just part of a broader conversation happening in this community and beyond, including with county supervisors just last week. More on that in a few seconds. But we've been hearing from community members asking why it's important at all to fly the LGBTQIA plus pride flag. So we took that question straight to the San Joaquin Pride Center.
That means so much to the LGBTQ community to know that there are spaces in the world that not just see us, but also like celebrate us and want us to feel safe there. And I think that flying a flag is a very simple way for a city and a location to do that.
Michael Wayne Cousins is Community Outreach Coordinator with the San Joaquin Pride Center, a nonprofit serving San Joaquin County with free LGBTQ plus resources, health services, and events. They and the center's transgender service specialist, James Patnod, said flying a pride flag is especially meaningful this year.
And not only showcases that they support us, but they are standing firm in their support with us against the bigotry that we have historically faced worldwide and even now currently are facing nationwide.
You won't see the pride flag flying at the San Joaquin County Administration Building. At last week's county supervisor meeting, only 3 of 5 supervisors voted to fly the flag. The measure needed 4 votes to pass. Supervisors Tom Patty and Stephen Ding voted against the measure, siding with some of the public commenters.
What I am not understanding is why this is even an issue when it's a sexual thing. And why is a sexual thing being brought to the forefront?
Supervisor Paul Canepa, who sponsored the measure, called himself a God-fearing person while speaking in favor of flying the pride flag.
For me, the way that I was raised, I mean, this is definitely outside the box for me, but I want to be a more inclusive society.
Also sparking controversy in the Stockton area, the San Joaquin Pride Center is holding a family-friendly drag show fundraiser this Saturday at Pixie Woods. ABC 10 was at a May 23rd Stockton City Council meeting where people showed up to speak in support of and opposition to holding the event at this children's park.
These people that have a right to have whatever they want to put on, it shouldn't be at a children's park.
Trying to ban something like this is honestly ridiculous.
Ultimately, the Pride Center got a permit from the city, but at a steeper cost than they anticipated.
Due to the backlash that we have received from the community in response to this event, we have now had to almost triple our expenses just to put on this event, and that was required by contract with the city. So now we are required to have not only paid security, but also have a Stockton PD presence.
There's just frustration there over like this event that was just for promoting safety and celebration of all expression, turning into this really big controversy and fight when it was just supposed to be a space of safety for LGBTQ families to come and have a fun time.
The San Joaquin Pride Center stresses this is a family-friendly event. They say drag performers will be dressing as Disney characters and video game characters. Tickets are $15 each. They will only be on sale, however, through 11:30 Thursday night. Organizers say for safety purposes, there will be no same-day tickets on Saturday or on Friday. The event is on Saturday. People can also buy a ticket and donate it if they want to support, but they can't participate. The San Joaquin Pride Center just asks those folks to reach out and message them if they want to do that. Alex?
All right, Becca, thank you so much. In Nevada City, a year after a Pride event was canceled due to safety concerns, people are showing their support by holding free community events and even decorating all of downtown. The streets were completely lined with colorful Pride flags, and the city has a whole calendar of events for the community to celebrate its 3rd annual Pride Month, including a flag raising at City Hall, book readings, drag brunches, and even something called Pride on the Patio.
We have evolved, and our board of directors, there's 10 of us. We are men and women, we are trans folks, we are people of color, We are very diverse and we are trying to represent a cross-section of the community.
I am just grateful that we live in a county that has said, yes, let's have events, let's have celebrations, and let's have education.
About 200 people that attended that flag raising, and their Pride Festival will be on August 6th. All right, a lot has happened today. Here's some other things that people are also talking about today, starting with former President Trump going to court and, well, pretty much making the most out of it. The former president was arrested, fingerprinted, and arraigned on 37 federal criminal charges in Miami. He entered a not guilty plea, and after the hearing, he made a campaign stop at a restaurant in Miami's Little Havana. Also in court today, the woman accused of a deadly crash in Atomis that took the lives of 2 kids and an adult. 28-year-old Precious Flowers appeared in a wheelchair. She faces 3 counts of vehicular manslaughter and 9 counts of child endangerment. And then there will be a town hall this week on Stockton Boulevard following several attacks and robberies. They are vicious and they appear to be targeting Asians. Roxanne Elias has more on what to expect.
Alex, it's not even summer yet, and we've already seen some of the vicious attacks and robberies happening here in this community. Well, in a partnership with law enforcement and community, they plan to meet later this week so they can discuss what is happening here and how to prevent it.
So on average in this area, in the Central Division, which is our South Sacramento area, we average roughly between 200 to 250 robbery reports per year. Now, and that's just in this South Sacramento area. From there, roughly 40% of those robberies occur within that Stockton Boulevard, Florin Road area.
That forum is being held here at the Sheriff's Florin Station Community Room. The address here is 7065th Street. It starts at 7 o'clock and community members are invited to come here, engage with organizations and law enforcement so that they could try to find some type of solution. Back to you in studio.
Coming up next, our historic winter is now turning into a historic summer. What the rain and melting snow means for our lake levels.
Yeah, and we'll talk about those lake levels, the numbers, and what we can expect this summer coming up.
And later in the show, an ABC 10 investigation on serial squatters. Why rental protections added during the pandemic is making it more difficult for property owners to evict tenants and not paying rent. Take a look at this. This is the result of our historic winter. Very full lakes, 2 reservoirs, Lake Oroville and Lake Shasta, are at or near capacity following our historic wet winter. Reservoirs were almost bone dry last year. Carly, what a difference a year makes.
It really does. And storm after storm after storm, and the pipeline has really added to filling up those lakes and reservoirs. But it's the continuous rain that even pushed into the months of April and May, and even thunderstorms still adding to some of that right now is keeping the soil moist. But when we talk about the reservoir levels, check out Shasta, Oroville, and Folsom. These are our 2 biggest reservoirs in the state, and we're already at 97 and 100% capacity. The historic average is well over 100%. They're really up there. And now that we're kind of getting into these summer months, we've been seeing less releases and even slower and lower releases happening as we continue on in the next month, really letting out nearly nothing when it comes out of those lakes and reservoirs into the rivers and streams. Folsom now at 94%. They've been holding on to a lot of that water as well. Some of the smaller reservoirs even starting to get close to theirs. San Luis Reservoir, 99% capacity. They've been pretty full for quite some time. New Melones, Don Pedro, 81%. Now let's talk about the weather ahead. Mountain thunderstorm chances continue with warming temperatures on the way and a cooler Father's Day. Now we are seeing the big mountain backyard with temperatures in the upper 70s and low 80s in the valley, with 86 degrees in Marysville. A lot going on out there with low pressure and high pressure systems. These 2 highs will contribute to the warming trend headed our way over the next 3 days. And we are looking at thunderstorm chances pushing through the Sierra currently. We'll see that again tomorrow, not quite as drastic. Most of it staying toward Yosemite and south of South Lake Tahoe. And then into Thursday, we have a little bit happening, but not quite as intense as well as we'll be dealing with today and into tomorrow. Now, as we take a look at the 10-day, low 90s Thursday, Friday, Father's Day at 82, Juneteenth, 86 degrees with 88 on the first day of summer.
Okay, make sure you stick around for our investigation on serial squatters. Andy Judson shows us why some are just too difficult to evict. All right, let's talk about an issue affecting California homeowners. Serial squatters. Additional rental protection laws added during the pandemic made it more difficult for property owners to evict tenants not paying rent. Tonight, ABC 10 investigative reporter Andy Judson looks at the issue and how homeowners can protect themselves.
This home is being held hostage.
All right, 4915.
Squatters. It's a name for occupants who don't pay rent, and that's who's lived here for the last 9 months. And they know what they're doing.
Professional, deadbeat tenants. They've learned to play the game.
Hello?
Well, it was our first house, you know. We got married there. We had our wedding reception there. Then as our family grew, we needed a larger place.
Rather than sell, Karen and Skip Moriarty have been renting their Fair Oaks home to several tenants for the last 34 years.
We made it into an investment, but we plan to downsize and go back there.
But before moving back, they decided to lease it one final time.
It's Craigslist. It's cheap, free.
When a couple named Ann and Mario Figueroa reached out, they met for a house tour.
Had a nice long conversation. Wonderful people.
To seal the deal, Karen requested documents, including a credit report and 401k statement.
He has 20 times as much as I have in my 401k.
With that, Karen and Skip handed over the keys in August 2022. Immediately, there were problems.
In September, they were late. We deeply apologize. Mario's grandfather passed last week, and we had to contribute.
When the next month came,
then his mother.
As December rolled around,
Mario's father was sick.
That's when they stopped paying altogether. Without rent, Skip and Karen had to cover the mortgage.
I'm holding off buying Christmas presents.
10 days before Christmas, Karen drove by.
It looked like they were having a party.
She could not handle it. She was melting down.
Desperate for help, they reached out to their real estate agent.
I've had hours of conversations with Karen, frustrated, upset, crying.
Gary Meek is familiar with squatters, but some, he says, are experts.
Unfortunately, there are criminals out there that use amazing talent and education for bad.
He asked to see the documents Mario and Ann provided when moving in and made a discovery.
They've all been falsified. The bank statements, the credit reports, everything has been falsified.
But they discovered something even more astonishing. This is not the first house the Figueroas have squatted in.
They've squatted in this one and this one. In fact, court records show since 2008, there have been at least 8 prior residences in Sacramento County alone that Mario and Ann have lived in for months and not paid rent. They've been evicted from homes in Wilton, Elk Grove, and Fair Oaks, some just blocks from one another. One of those homes was Tari Gunn's.
He was just so charmful and helpful and everything, and I thought, well, these are going to be good people.
Right off the bat, rent was replaced with excuses, the same excuses Karen and Skip got.
And it was so hard because they got to live there rent-free.
It took time and money to evict them.
Having to go back and forth, court, filing, just everything. I just incurred so many financial issues that it was really hard.
When she did finally get them out, what she found was shocking.
We went in the house then, and there was a note taped to the sliding glass window that said, see you in bankruptcy court.
Her anger doubled when she learned Karen and Skip were among their next victims. Their home is just 2.5 miles from Tari's.
How dare they? How dare they come and stay in the same area and keep doing it?
So we wanted to get answers from the Figueroas. We wanted to hear and include their side in our reporting and ask why they keep doing this.
Your call has been forwarded to an
We called and left voicemails for both Mario and Ann.
Hi, this message is for Ann.
Then we went to speak with them at Karen and Skip's house. No one answered, but it seemed like they were there or had been recently.
The light's on, but
After multiple attempts, we left a letter.
Telling them we're requesting an interview with them.
On our way out, we noticed the trash can.
It's like there's fresh stuff in the trash can.
At this point, the eviction process had started 4 months before.
Oh, it looks like a lot of like refrigerated stuff, so maybe they moved out.
Any steps taken towards getting them out, Karen and Skip credit to the man they hired to evict them.
Once I get involved, they can start packing because they're going to go away.
But as we've seen, California law makes it a lengthy and often costly process to evict squatters.
If you follow administrative law, it will go step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, and pretty much go by the book, with a few exceptions. And this is one of those exceptions, is when you get professional tenants. The system was not built for people like them.
This system is especially vulnerable due to COVID. For over 2 years, California created laws to protect tenants from being evicted while navigating the pandemic. Between that and backed up courts, California's system enables squatters, Barry says.
We're so much into victims' rights, but the problem is in this case, they don't see the landlords as a victim.
He says current law treats landlords like they're massive entities with endless funds. It's an issue because it's not true.
About 7 out of 10 properties that are being rented are rented by mom and pop investors.
Instead, homeowners like Karen and Skip have to fight serial squatters.
So this is just theft.
And that's why there needs to be change, he says.
I think that our owners' rights have been taken.
For now, he recommends homeowners do their homework on potential tenants.
You've got to do a background check. You've got to do a criminal eviction, credit, verify your employment, verify your income.
Or better yet, he says, hire a property manager.
Hire somebody that does it for a living.
His work paid off. After our interview and 9 months after they first moved in, Mario and Ann were evicted.
So you guys had not been in at all?
No, not at all.
Tari and our crew went with Karen and Skip as they entered their house.
They had lots of parties, it looks like.
Oh my gosh, wow. These are broken, all these blinds. What's all this stuff?
The backyard left a mess.
How does the pool look? Terrible, it's green. Oh no. I'm just happy that they're out of here.
Karen and Skip are owed over $15,000 for rent. That's not including what it'll take to fix the place. And that's why they've decided instead of moving back, they're going to sell.
I'm still working and when I should be retiring.
It's what Tari did too.
I'm not going to be violated again.
She, Skip, Karen, and others have endured the same difficult path.
What's your message you want to get across today?
Make sure and go with your gut.
And do your homework. As for their serial squatter's next victim,
they're already on their way someplace else.
If it fits their pattern, their new home could be just miles away.
I just feel sorry for the next person.
And can I just say that Karen and Skip said it will cost around $30,000 to repair the damages before selling their home. Between that and then the money that they're owed for rent, they worry that it will take years before Karen can actually retire. All right, coming up after the break, we are getting another preview of a big investigation that we're following for tomorrow. This one has to do with Lake Tahoe. All right, so tomorrow we have another big ABC 10 Originals investigation coming your way at 6:30 right here on To The Point. Our Brandon Ritteman is diving into a controversy in Lake Tahoe. Should poison be used to control a major threat to the lake? Invasive weeds are out of control in the Tahoe Keys. The Homeowners Association can apply herbicides, but environmental groups are split over the idea.
Currently, the biggest threat to keeping Tahoe blue instead of it turning green is this development.
But it's all about the money. It's all about lakefront owners and their property rights.
There's an emotional debate over a possible solution, so make sure you don't miss this ABC 10 investigation tomorrow right here on To The Point. As always, don't forget, if you have something that you want me to look into, just send me an email at tothepoint@abc10.com. Have a great night. I'll see you back here tomorrow. Hey, it's Alex. Just wanted to say thank you so much for watching. I really love hearing from everyone, and I hope that you'll stay in touch. Reach out to me on Facebook at AlexBellTV, or you can email me at tothepoint@abc10.com, or you can even send me a text message at 916-321-3310.